Well, more than 70 million adults have trouble getting a good night's sleep. And what's worse, some don't even know they have an issue. That is until their partner or a family member speaks up. That's actually how I figured out that I myself have a pretty bad snoring problem. Some family members told me they were scared I stopped breathing when I sleep as well. So I decided to get some answers.
You've never fallen asleep while driving, correct?
No.
Do you ever wake up choking or gasping?
No. Pulmonologist and lung specialist Dr. Scott Spencer with CHI St. Joseph Health says most people come to him for the same reasons.
80% of the men who come in here and see us, it's because their wife is making them. Right. I mean, if you're snoring so loud that couples can't be in bed together, that's a severe stress.
Before getting an official sleep study done, patients have to fill out a sleep scale, which gauges how tired you are.
You self-scored a 14, which is very, very high. This is a person that's very, very sleepy.
Dr. Spencer says patients who score that high usually have a condition called obstructive sleep apnea, meaning something's blocking your airway, causing you to stop breathing while you sleep.
In some people, it's weight related. That weight we have here is also in the back of our mouth and in our tongue. And some people, it's genetic in that maybe their chin is set further back, and that pushes the tongue and the rest of the structures back towards the back and blocks that opening off, especially when you're sleeping directly on your back at night.
For me, it could be both.
Most people, when they open their mouth, you can see the back of their mouth back here. That's called the oropharynx. When you open your mouth, your airway looks like this down here. You can barely see the back of your throat.
What does that necessarily mean?
So the smaller that opening is, the more likely a person is to have sleep apnea.
So now what? Well, there are a number of heart and other serious health issues that can arise from sleep apnea. So Dr. Spencer ordered a sleep study for me. Keep tuning in this week, though. Over the next 2 days, we're going to continue to explore the science of sleep and hopefully help some of you at home identify why your sleep may be broken too. Well, hypertension, diabetes, risk of stroke, and heart failure, all frightening health conditions that can all be made worse by bad sleep habits. This week on BVTM, we're diving deep into the science of sleep, and today, learning more about overnight sleep studies and the answers you can uncover.
In the lab, we see most commonly is obstructive sleep apnea. Now we see other things like narcolepsy, periodic limb movement.
John Childers spends his days making sure others get the most out of their nights.
In the lab, we're looking for EEG, brain waves, we're looking for eye movement, we're looking for airflow.
The CHI St. Joseph Sleep Center sees patients 7 days a week. People like me, hoping to catch a healthy amount of Z's.
Well, we talk about nutrition being important, we talk about exercise being important, but we don't really talk about sleep and how important it is. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, your whole body suffers.
And if you have sleep apnea, like Childers suspects I do, the fallout is even worse.
Whenever you have sleep apnea and you quit breathing, your oxygen level drops. When your oxygen level drops, your heart, your kidneys, your vital organs are not getting the proper oxygen. So what happens is that's an extra stress on those things.
Still hoping I don't actually have the disorder, I told them to wire me up.
Sleep apnea and heart problems like to go hand in hand. So we always monitor your heart. We're going to put a belt across your chest and a belt across your stomach. Anytime that you snore, cough, sleep talk, anything like that, it's going to put a marker in the study. Next ones are going behind your ears.
26 wires and a whole lot of nerves later, it was time for lights out. Well, a typical sleep study runs about 6 to 8 hours, and during that time, if you stop breathing a significant amount, the technician comes in to put what's called a CPAP on you. It's a breathing machine that should make a difference. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. We're going to be sharing the official results of my personal study and break down those treatment options. Whether you're a shift worker, a parent, or a student, your sleep health is vital to your overall well-being. Today, as we wrap up our Science of Sleep series, I'm sharing the results of my own sleep study in hopes that you will pay more attention the next time you close your eyes. Yeah, that sweet sound you're hearing, it happens pretty much as soon as I fall asleep.
Left side, not a lot going on, some snoring. It wasn't horrendous, but it was loud.
Not all people who snore have sleep apnea, but just about everyone who has sleep apnea snores.
But as soon as you rolled over on your back, and then you entered REM sleep. You can see all of these red lines are your respiratory events, your apneas, hypopneas.
All those red lines meant I was having trouble breathing and meant I had what my doctor called moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea.
When you roll back on your left, they tapered off a little bit. But if you look at this, these blue lines are arousals or mini awakenings. So this is the part of the study that actually qualified you for the CPAP.
CPAP stands for Continuous Positive Airway Pressure. It's a machine that constantly pushes air into your throat to help you breathe easier while you sleep. And at first, it was a little uncomfortable.
Do you remember this part?
I kind of felt claustrophobic for a little bit and could not get comfortable and could not understand how I was supposed to
Sleep with that.
Right.
And once you got settled and you hit this REM period, once we went back to our back, we would have expected, you being asleep, that the events would have gotten a lot worse. And they didn't really, but that means you were pretty close to your optimal CPAP pressure at that point. You just kind of cruised through the rest of the night.
Though I didn't wake up the next morning feeling immediately more refreshed.
Good morning. Hi.
My organs likely did.
So what we're looking for is not only quantity of sleep, but we're looking for quality of sleep. So you may be sleeping 8-10 hours, but if it's not quality sleep, you're still going to have the effects of not getting any sleep.
Well, Childers says 80% of the people that have sleep apnea don't even know it. If you're waking up with headaches consistently or you're going to the bathroom multiple times a night, those are some signs that you definitely shouldn't ignore. For me specifically, the condition seems to be mostly related to significant weight gain over time. So before I go ahead and get a CPAP, I'll be continuing a weight loss program with my primary care physician to see if that helps. There are a few different surgeries and procedures, though, that can be done in some cases, as well as potential mouthpieces that can be custom made for you. But for most people, the CPAP is the best way to go. There are multiple sizes and options for CPAP machines as well. Your insurance will likely cover the cost of that as long as you've had a sleep study done in the last 6 months. Over the last few days since I've been doing these, I received multiple messages from different people saying that they're preparing themselves for a sleep study. So this is good information to kind of figure out what to expect in that sort of thing.
Would you say you learned a lot doing this process?
Oh my gosh, more than I think I would have ever known about sleep in general. Obviously with our shift, we have a very odd sleep schedule. So
or lack thereof.
yeah, exactly. So it's definitely interesting. If you want to see the other two parts, if you missed the other ones the last couple days, just head to kbtx.com.